Hello everyone, good morning to all. I am Syajat Chokya and today I am going to present on a topic Bunburying Desire, the politics of violent queerness, identity and the hypocrisy of Victorian society through reflection from Oscar Wilde's life and works. Here are my academic and presentation details, the table of contents. Let's start with the introduction. Oscar Wilde's life and works reflect the tension between public and conformity and private desire in Victorian society. Bunburying, or a living double lives, is both a personal strategy and a literary theme that critiques societal hypocrisy. Wilde's queer identity and personal experiences informed his literary exploration of identity and desire and performativity. In importance of being honest and the picture of Dorian Gray, Wilde used humor, satire, and subtext to challenge Victorian moral norms and heteronormativity. Victorian society, the stage of mask and manners. Society as a stage. Victorian norms demanded rigid performance of morality and propriety, mask of respectability. Public behavior often hide private desires. Hypocrisy was endemic. Heteronormativity and conformity. Strict rules dictated gender roles and sexual conduct. Double lives everywhere. Secret desires and hidden identities were common, creating Bunburying in real life as the queer people or gay or bisexual people who are living in Victorian society, living with two personality or double personality, which called Bunbury, which is first coined by Oscar Wilde in his play in the importance of being earnest. Impact on Wilde navigated fame, aestheticism, and queerness under societal scrutiny. Trials and imprisonment made public private tension unavoidable. Reflection in his works, the importance of being earnest, satire of social performance, and hidden desire. The picture of Dorian Gray, secrets, duality, and moral duplicity mirrors societal hypocrisy. Oscar Wilde, Life Behind the Mask. As Oscar Wilde is one of the most controversial literary person during the Victorian era, as they are not even considering him as a first class literary. They all consider him in a second class literature or writer. Flamboyant public persona, celebrated playwright, poet, and social icon, renowned for wit and aestheticism. Oscar Wilde mostly focused on beauty as he try and he love in his personal life. He loves to carry himself more aesthetic and always his clothes are all. He set the trend of clothes during his time. Hidden private life, queer desires and secret relationships constrained by Victorian norms practiced real life Bunburying as he is not allowed to have that homosexual relationship as he carrying this Bunburying identity. Trials and persecution. Arrested in 1894 for gross indecency, imprisonment, exposed Victorian hypocrisy as he has a relationship with one male, and because of that relationship he got arrested in 1895. Life reflected in his works the importance of being honest, satire of manners, performativity, and identity. In the picture of Dorian Gray, hidden desires, duality, and moral duplicity. Legacy. Personal experiences shaped Wilde's critique of Victorian society, identity, and queerness. Bunburying and double lives in literature. Concept of Bunburying, term coined by Wilde in the importance of being honest to describe living a double life to escape societal pressure, as Victorian societal norms are not allow these kind of people to live their life the way they want. This is why the term and this idea of living double life came into this society. Reflects broader Victorian reality, hidden desire versus public conformity. The person in private life is different and public is different. Double lives in literature. Character leads dual existence, masking true selves to navigate societal constraints. Ernest, Jack and Algernon adopt false identities to explore freedom and desire. As Jack want to live his life and want to escape from his responsibilities and his works. That's why Algernon and Jack take that personality of Ernest and living that life in London and living another life in countryside. Algernon doing the same. He want to live his life freedomly and want to get that female partner. That's why he used the name Ernest. In Dorian Gray, Dorian conceals his immoral acts and desires behind a perfect public image. But in the private life, there is a different image of that person. Continue. Themes explored by Oscar Wilde: identity and performative self, life as a performance under societal scrutiny, queerness and desire, subtextual expression of sexuality and constrained society. Social critic satire expose Victorian hypocrisy and double standards as the people who are living different life in private, in different life in public place. Significance: Bunburying is a both literary device and reflection of Wilde's personal life, bridging life and art. Literary devices, satire and queer subtext. Witty dialogue and satire. Wilde uses clever wordplay and humor to critique Victorian social norms and hypocrisy, as we found in both the only novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray, and his play, The Importance of Being Earnest. Satire exposes rigid morality, heteronormativity, and performative behaviors in society. Double lives and performative identity. Characters' life, Bunburying lives, public versus private selves. Reflection: Wilde's personal experiences on concealment and societal pressure, as he got arrested and he doesn't get that kind of expectance from society or in his during his time. Continue. Queer subtext: subtle expression of desire and identity under societal constraints. Ernest and Dorian Gray embodied queer themes without overt confrontation, making radical commentary accessible. Purpose of device: literary techniques makes while critic entertaining yet through provoking. When we go through that play, there are some humorous dialogue that shows the dual personality of both that guys. But somewhere there is a critique in the symbolic way. There is a critique of Victorian society. Humor and subtext allow audience to engage with societal critique while enjoying the comedy or narrative. Identity, desire, and performance. Identity, desire, and performance in the table. Fluid, multiple selves. In the desire, hidden queer longing shows in subtextual. But in the performance, Bunburying double life, performative. It's a performative act, but in desire, it shows the hidden queer longing subtext. Public versus private self. In desire, repressed due to Victorian norms, but when we see the performance, satire and humor to critique societal hypocrisy. The identity of in identity influence literature directly, but the desire is to life experience mirrored in works. But when we see the performance, life and literature intervene the challenge of norms. Case studies and key passages. The importance of being earnest. Jack, I now realized the vital importance of being earnest. Act number 3 highlights performative identity and public versus private self. Algernon, the truth it's rarely pure and never simple. Act 1 demonstrate satire and Bunburying to critique societal norms. The Picture of Dorian Gray. Dorian portraits reveal hidden sins. Chapter number 10 and 11 shows queer subtext, double life, and moral duplicity. Behind every exquisite thing, there is something tragic. Illustrate intervening of identity, desire, and societal hypocrisy. Here is the modern relevance of Wilde's themes, identity and fluidity. As in current time, the discussion on LGBTQ and identity crisis are on peak. Wilde's exploration of double lives and performative identity mirrors modern discussion on gender, sexuality, and self-expression. Queer representation. Subtle queer subtext in his works resonates with contemporary LGBTQ plus literature and activism. Social satire and critique. Satirical exposure of societal hypocrisy and parallel trees, critique of social norms, conformity, and moral policing. Desire and personal freedom. Characters' pursuit of desire reflect ongoing debates and about personal freedom versus societal expectation. As we all know, if we see the current time of India, we do not want that kind of expectance for LGBTQ plus people. But there are many who are living private life, but in public life there is some kind of different in their life. Here is the synthesis of this presentation. Integration of life and works. The way identity, constant desire, and societal pressure directly influences literary themes across text. Bunburying double lives, queer subtext, and satire shows the in Ernest and Dorian illustrate hidden desire and performative identities. Modern relevance. Concept of identity, desire, and societal critique resonate with contemporary discussion of gender, sexuality, and freedom of expression. While life and works are inseparable, showing that literature can be mirror to society, a tool for a critique, and platform for exploring identity and desire. Here are the learning outcomes. Okay, now let's conclude this topic. Whilst humor, satire, and wit expose the rigid social norms and moral hypocrisy of Victorian society, Bunbury and Double Lives in Earnest and Dorian Gray illustrate the fluidity and identity and the tension between private desire and public expectation. Queer subtext allow while to embed social critics subtly, making radical ideas accessible without over confrontation. By exploring identity, desire, and societal critique, whilst works resonate with modern discussion on gender, mirror of society, challenging norms while reflecting human and complexity and desire. Here is the references that I used to make this presentation. Thank you. If you have any question, please feel free to ask.
So my question is, how does the concept of Bunbury reflect Wilde's critique of Victorian society?
Okay, Kushi, thank you for the question. The term and idea of Bunbury itself represent the living double life, as while itself himself living a Bunbury life. And also the in the importance of being honest, we found that Algernon and Jack are living double life. Somehow it critiques the Victorian society, that a Victorian society is not allowing this kind of people and this kind of idealism. But though there is a not allowance and expectation, still there is this kind of these kind of people who are living this these life that critique Victorian society.
My question is, why is Wilde's exploring of identity and desire still relevant today?
Okay, Milan, thank you for the question. Whilst idea of identity and genders are still relevant today, because as we all know that in his play we found the queer subtext and crisis of identity, that the topics which are relevant today, the social norms which are not allowed the people to live their life freely. This is why this term and the exploration of identity desire still relevant today on the topic which are hot topic for discussion, gender, sexuality, and identity crisis. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. This is from my side.